Sentence, fragment, phrase, and clause. When I require students in my class to explain in 5 to 6 sentences their conviction, whether they believe in capital punishment or not, I really mean what I instruct them to do 5 or 6 sentences, not fragment or phrase or clause. So what's the difference? Now, most native English speakers can identify a sentence based purely of intuition. Meaning, say by hearing, they will know already what they're uttering, either a sentence or not. In fact, you intuitively know that you're reading a sentence, a group of words, often with the subject and a predicate. In logic, we have the subject term and the predicate term, and in between is the copula that come together to express a complete thought, no? Not an incomplete thought, but a complete thought. A sentence leaves little to no questions unanswered. No? Okay, may halimbawa. Or, fragments, however, do not express a complete thought. Kaya tinatawag na fragment. Eh. Ibig sabihin fragmented. No? Scattered. Fragments in Microsoft Word tend to get flagged with a green squiggly line underneath. No? So, uh, programs na sa Microsoft. In context, fragments can be perfectly meaningful and grammatical. However, their meaningfulness and grammaticality is not their own. It is borrowed from other sentences. You can understand it through contextual reading or speaking, but formally, it is not. It's not expressing a complete thought. An example of a grammatical fragment. No? So the mother asks the child, "Where are you going?" The child answers, "To the playground." The answer of the child is not a complete sentence, but the answer of a child is a fragment. So what is the complete sentence then? See, the child should say, "I am going to the playground." So that is the complete sentence. So for example, if you write in your essay in a canvas or under me while taking the exam, you say to the playground or not much. So I would not be able to understand what are you talking about. Okay, because you are using fragment, no? Or you're using a phrase, no? Or you're using an incomplete dependent clause. Mhm. So phrases, according to grammatically correct, I think this is a website, are groups of related words that can contain a noun and a verb, but do not contain both a subject and a predicate. So hindi siya complete. Phrases are fragments, no? And they cannot stand alone. See. Examples of phrases. On his way to the forum, it begins with this preposition on. So this is what we call the prepositional phrase. Uh, On his way to the forum, John bumped into Sally. So this is a prepositional phrase. No? There is what we call also the verb phrase. No? Is, for example, is walking, verb phrase yan. But that's not a complete sentence yet. John indicated which direction to go by pointing north. No? By pointing north. This is also sabihin mo, another phrase. No? Or there is what we call infinitive phrase. There is a verb phrase. There is adjectival phrase, etc. No? But these phrases are not complete sentences yet. Ito naman ang clauses. No? How many clauses are there? No? There are 2 clauses. No? The dependent na hindi niya kayang tumindig mag-isa lamang, no? At saka independent. An independent clause is actually complete sentence. Clauses are can either be independent or dependent. An independent clause can stand on its own, which means a sentence is an independent clause. Okay, a dependent clause is needy. No? It needs to stand with the independent clause. It cannot function without assistance or support from an independent clause. Ano ang halimbawa natin dito? When Brian saw the police car behind him, so ito kung pa lang ito dependent clause, hindi pa ito kompleto, no? Sabihin mo, nung nakita ni Brian ang kotse ng police sa likuran niya, sabihin ng kaibigan mo, ano, nasunod. Sabihin mo, tapos na. Sabi niya, ano ka ba? Di pa tapos ang sentence mo. Ano ang, kanya, anong karugtong niya, no? Itong karugtong, he pulled over to the side of the road. Yan. So ito, independent clause. He pulled over to the side of the road. That's the sentence. At ito, when Brian saw the police car behind him, is a dependent clause. Yan. So do not answer your assignment under me with phrase, fragment, or clause. Kasi hindi kompleto yan. No? So kung hindi kompleto yan, hindi rin kompleto ang grades mo dyan. No? So instead of 10 points, baka magiging 9 ka lang, or 8, or 7 ka lang. No? Tapos sabihin mo, kuripot naman ni sir, I have told you, no? May standard tayo, hindi pwede naka-answer ka, correct ka agad. Yan. Unfair naman yan na I'm your teacher, tapos ayaw mo magpa-correct sa teacher mo. No? Yan. Note, dependent clauses or phrases that attempt to stand alone are considered fragments. Again, they are acceptable in conversation or in informal writing. Informal writing, parang kung sa Tagalog, parang mga kwentong barbero o kwentong balbal, no? O colloquial, no? Colloquial, parang conversation lang yan, pwede. But when it comes to writing, iba ang style ng writing. It should be formal and the sentences should be clear. Mayroong subject, mayroong predicate. So, ito. Real life example from students. Examples. It teaches us to have self-reflection concerning paradoxes of life ito. Unable to evaluate myself. No? Tapos, kailangan may space ito. Yan. Kaya kung sa Microsoft Word ito, may pula ito In our rush to find success, fame, or attention, we miss out on the deeper stuff. The important stuff. O hindi ito sentence. Fragment lang yan Like family and health and passion. O hindi rin ito sentence. Kaya nakapula ito. So don't do that if you want to improve your writing. Later on, baka manager ka ng bank o ng company mo, tapos sumulat ka sa isang company, baka pagtawanan ka. No? Because sabihin nila, ano ba itong manager nito? Hindi naman ito marunong i-express ng kanyang ideas. No? Parang chop-chop na chop-soy ito yung kanyang sentence. Yan. Tapos, another assignment, another example. This proves to be so true nowadays. No? Supposed to be ang nowadays, hindi one word lang ito. Kasi wala namang word na a days Yeah, a days Kundi nowadays. When you begin your paragraph class, don't begin with this demonstrative pronoun. Hindi mo alam kung ano nire-refer nito, no? Kasi pronoun takes the place of a noun, no? Kailangan may noun kaagad dito. Sasabihin mo muna yung noun. Sabihin mo, these paradoxes in life are really true. Yan. Pero kung sabihin mo, this proves to be true, saan ang nire-refer mo dyan? No? Kailangan may referent ka dyan. Yung logic at saka grammar, as I have told you before class, because pareho sila ng aim dito, clear thinking and clear expression of ideas, kailangan magka-jibe yan. Instead, we opted for more, ito hindi na-check ang sentence bago pinasa sa teacher, no? Ang teacher pa mag-check nito. No, kung ang teacher pa mag-check nito, may nasaan ka ng teacher dyan, no? Kung sa bar examination ng law ito, pag nakita ng examiner na yung handwriting mo hindi mababasa, sakit ng ulo niyan. At saka yung grammar mo, para nagtatumbling, para bigyan ka na siguro ng score dyan na halos pumasa. At least, may score ka kaysa wala. No? Yan. Ito, I would like to tell you, class. No? Ito naman. Warning! Do not copy word for word the works of others. I would like to be honest with your class. No? I'm reading your works. No? Tapos, hindi ko naman agad malimutan yung sinasabi ng ibang section o ibang mga estudyante. No? Yan. Kung mayroon tayong DO ngayon, baka yung 3, 4 na estudyante napadala na yan sa DO, no? Kasi hindi naman ka paniwala na 4 o 3 estudyante, pareho talaga ng pag-iisip, pareho ng words, no? Unless it is a plagiarism. Anong plagiarism? Stealing the literary work of another, no? Tulad nito. Maybe it's time that we just stop forcing our opinions, whatever they are based on, onto other people. Imagine a world where people quit telling everyone else how to live their lives and instead focus on living their own. Mga 3, 4 na estudyante nagita ko the same sentences. Oh, ano yan? Copy paste from Google. Yan. Mahirap yan. No? So hindi nag-iisip, no? So ako, secret lang na may NAS na yan, no? At least alam na yun ng estudyante na may kasalanan sila, no? Yan. Pero bawal yan. That is cheating. The the um, the seventh commandment says, you shall not steal. Okay? Do you have any question, class? Do you have any question? Do you have any question, class? So, stop, ano ito? Stop recording ito, no? Stop recording. Stop share muna. Sana yung stop recording. Oh, about John Mark Premio, do you have any question? Does this help you in your studies?